let's get to cooking gas. I bought cooking gas yesterday. I ran out of gas. I was trying to cook on a Sunday night. I don't cook that much, but I was doing some stuff. So I go out to go buy gas. 17,000 naira for a 12.5 kilogram cylinder. Meanwhile, the 5 kilogram cylinder, that's at 8,000. So a 5 kilogram cylinder today is where a 12.5 cylinder was just a few years ago. So the prices continue to rise. Now let's get to our guest, Mr. Felix Ekundayo, Managing Director, Asiko Energy, President, LPGA. He joins us now from the United Kingdom. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. So what triggers can we point to for the rise we're seeing in cooking gas prices?
Good morning, Rotus. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can. Thank you so much. Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you for having me on. I got your message roughly about the same time as I received quite a number of other messages with regards to the spike in gas pricing. For one thing, I don't want to treat gas as an isolated commodity. There are a number of commodities in Nigeria, as we all know, that have risen or spiked, yam, onions, whatever. It is how should we say, it's much more an extensive problem of the economy, which is not unrelated to what you just presented before you brought me on. However, there's no denying that, yes, the rise in cooking gas pricing is a concern. A number of reasons for that. One is in terms of a recent rise in international pricing, which affects us locally. And more importantly, the foreign exchange situation. All our products are dollar indexed. So therefore, anytime there's an exchange rate change, as we have seen over the months, then there is an issue which unfortunately knocks onto cooking gas. So those are some of the reasons behind the spikes that we're seeing.
Thank you so much. Now, look, as I just said, the price of a 5 kg cylinder is almost where the 12.5 was a few years ago. Won't there be any environmental consequences if people that are priced out of LPG turn to coal and firewood?
Yes, we have raised the alarm on this matter now for probably about the last 9 months. The concern has been that users who have previously converted to using cooking gas, particularly the more vulnerable, have started to migrate back to dirtier fuels, which is something that we did not want to see. We are talking with the government in terms of different ways to ameliorate these effects, these challenges. But yes, what you have raised is a major concern for the Nigeria LP Gas Association, and it's something we are working on. There are different programs that are trying to inject some volume of cylinders into the market, but there's simply not enough to avert the trend that we see. We see a decline in consumption. More importantly, one of the things we are focusing on is the increase in local production. We need to actually increase local production as well as divert local production that is still being exported. A number of producers are doing their best. NLNG is certainly doing its best. It's domesticated all its volumes, but we still have another major producer that we have been trying for years to get them to divert their volumes into Nigeria. And unfortunately, we've made no headway, which is the Chevron facility. We need to start to make this a much more vocal and public issue. Divert those volumes into Nigeria in order to be able to boost local supply and reduce reliance on imports.
Now, I wanted to ask you, the last time we had you on, when you were here in Lagos, we talked about CNG. There's, of course, been a lot of efforts by the government to get more CNG vehicles. What do you make of the competition for gas? Will the CNG initiatives, impact the supply issues that we're seeing with gas availability?
For me, actually, it's on the contrary. I think any effort to boost gas production in general, so it's almost like saying you boost oil production, will it affect kerosene, for example, or diesel? No. If you boost gas production overall, some of it will go into CNG, some of it will go into pipeline gas, which will improve the situation with the power generation companies, and some of the byproducts. So LPG comes out of the production of gas. So they're not exactly the same product product. This CNG is natural gas, LPG is petroleum gas. They come from the same source, but they're not exactly the same product. But one complements the other. So the drive, the promotion of CNG, in our view, also complements LPG. First of all, it makes more gas available for processing. Out of the processing will come natural gas, dry natural gas, as well as petroleum gas. So that should see a boost in terms of gas supply overall.
Now, okay, Nigeria is a gas giant. Yeah, we got these supply issues. Can you speak to the capital-intensive nature of getting gas out of the ground?
Okay, I think this is actually much more the issue as well. So boosting supply is a major, should be a major focus. Getting gas out of the ground is not as easy as getting oil out of the ground, i.e., once it's above ground, you need to do something with it. That requires infrastructure. So the dearth of infrastructure in terms of gas, and when I say a dearth of infrastructure, I'm not just really referring to terminals and so on. I think we have enough of those. We need much more down the lines of the pipelines, the end user facilities. Who is going to consume the gas? You can get gas to a consumer who is not equipped to consume gas. It's going to cost them something to consume gas. Therefore, there needs to be an intervention at the demand side, demand stimulation, whether it be for petroleum gas, LPG, or it be for natural gas, CNG, LNG. There needs to be massive demand stimulation, right, in terms of assisting people to convert, whether they're individuals, commercial entities or industrial associations. And we're not at present seeing enough of the effort on the demand stimulation side.
Now, see, that leads me to this now. We're talking about the need for more investment. I went through Nigeria's fiscal performance for 2023, revenue of 5.9 trillion, expenditure of 19 trillion, a deficit of 13.5. With our fiscal challenges, I know, how can we improve investment in gas? Are we going to have to look to partnerships with technical operators outside?
You raise a very valid conundrum. That is a major challenge now. I mean, unfortunately, it was a misboat when we could have made the investments, but that's crying over spilled milk. Now, what can we do? Okay, there is a space in terms of, there is an opportunity in terms of the increased prices should encourage new investment. That new investment has to come from offshore. But one of the factors that discourages offshore investment, FDI, at the moment is the current economic situation in the country. So therefore, we need to give confidence to foreign investors. We need to give confidence to new inflows of investment that, look, they can recover their money, that their investments are safe, so that they see Nigeria for what it truly is, a humongous consumer market that requires energy. It's energy deficit, and therefore it really does need that investment to drive infrastructure development.
Now, what's your projection, I guess, for cooking gas prices going forward? Will 12.5 kg hit, 20,000? Will 5 kg hit 10? How do you see things working out? Christmas is coming up. You've got the festive season. People are going to be cooking, so demand will likely go up. How do you see things working out as we end the year?
We certainly don't want to see that. The unfortunate thing is that with increased pricing, right, it's counterintuitive. With increased pricing, we will see demand collapsing. Okay, so that's not something that we want to see as an industry. So for us, we want to be sure that where we have hit now is the maximum, is the peak, and we will start to see a reduction. But for that to happen, we must see diversion of local supplies, increase of supplies from local producers, particularly the large existing producers who can bring their products to bear in the market. And for this, we will be saying that, look, it's an important initiative for the government. It's an important initiative for NNPC to focus on to bring some of those additional volumes into the market.
Mr. Felix Ekundayo, MD at Seco Energy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about this pressing issue. Really appreciate it so much.